good morning. So today I have Gautam with us, who has a proven track record of translating business requirements into winning technical solutions for whichever company he's worked with. He's driven a lot of companies towards success by his intellectual capabilities, and we will hear about more about that once he joins us. Let's welcome Gautam on 10 Minutes of Hiding Wisdom, where he will tell us about where he's currently working, what he's doing, and what his company is all about. Hi Gautam, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm Minal. Thanks for inviting me. I'm doing
Of
great.
course. So where are you working, Gautam? How's your Monday going so far?
Monday, usual Monday, it's going well. I'm working at Zocdoc. It's a marketplace for patients to book doctors, and we make it easy for anyone to find doctors in any specialty, especially when people are new to a place and they need information about health and doctors. This is a place to be. We're trying to build the front door for healthcare.
So it's like Uber for doctors. You can find and access doctors anywhere. And I think usually when people are come to a new place, they're usually confused. They usually use Uber to explore different places. So this sounds interesting. And how has the company been doing so far, specifically because of the pandemic and everything? Did it grow? Did it like become stagnant? What was the progress like?
Yeah, the company is, I think, is doing well, especially given that there's a push to telehealth, and obviously, COVID has not been great for many, and the company has saw some dip, but things are back to normal, and especially people have postponed their doctor visits as well as health, and we see some growing trajectory in terms of how our business is performing during these.
Okay, and can you talk more about your path, Gautam? Like, what got you into this? What did you major in? What was your college degree like, and how did you end up on this pathway?
Yeah, I lead the data team here, and data team, especially data engineering and data science teams here. I'm a computer scientist by background, and I worked as a software developer. After that, I realized I wanted to be more on the consumer side of things. I wanted to be very close to consumer touch points. So I did my MBA, got a deeper understanding of business and customers, and then moved into a space where data is exploding, which is advertising agencies. So I moved into ad agencies and worked in terms of building data teams there. I remember my very first role; it was basically working on Excel reporting to make sure that people are getting the right data they want. And eventually, I moved into roles where I was capable of building teams across web analytics, helping understand marketing performance, web performance, and all. So that's how I moved into data, and I really love this space because it's mostly about asking the right questions and asking the right questions and then giving the right answers, and that's the sort of a treasure hunt, and it's pretty much like a
That's
game,
true.
and I really like that nature of work. So I
That's
landed
true.
here at Zocdoc, especially because I wanted to. Work in healthcare. My mother's a doctor, and this space. Although I was not in the medical space, this is an opportunity that I really got closest to where my family is.
Okay. And you mentioned that finding the right problem identifies the right solution, which is very true. But can you tell more about the background? Like, how did the founder come up with the idea of Zocdoc? Like, where did the inspiration come from?
Yeah, I think it was on his business trip. He was, finding, for doctors, and it was very difficult back in the day in New York. This was like I think 2007, and at that time, I think they were working in a consulting company, the founders, and they came up with this idea, spin up the business, and it started doing well. Obviously, they hit the roadblocks, after a couple of years, and it's with any company, they went through these patterns of ups and downs, and right now, I think one thing the company does well, and my founder really does well, is calibrating to the business needs and customer needs, and making sure we pivot, especially during COVID. We moved into telehealth, which is a very important piece of healthcare service.
That's very true. I think timing is everything. Specifically, you need to understand what the customers want, and finding the perfect segue into the business is something that's so important. Because now, as in like a lot of people that have postponed their doctor appointments and everything are now wanting to go. So there's going to be a boom in that requirement. So, I mean, that definitely worked out for you guys, and I'm glad it did. But Gautam, can you tell us more specifically about what the working culture is like at Zogdog? Because it's a growing fast company. What exactly are your values? How does that reflect on your day to day basis when you're working at Zogdog?
Yeah, especially I can talk more about the data team as it relates to how we value work. It's about curiosity and making sure we keep our patients first and getting the best healthcare service for them. As a result, what that translates into my team's work is understanding the friction points in a patient journey, understanding where patients drop off or where they cannot find the best healthcare. How do we ensure we're tracking their performance and helping them towards providing better services and tracking from a healthcare is regulated and we don't collect all the data, especially as the consumer service business. We actually have a very rigorous process in terms of how we vet all our data policies and at an anonymized level, help patients with providing better service. My team's culture, especially, is more
Okay.
about curiosity, and that's what I drive home within my team.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And considering you lead a team, Gautam, of course, all of you guys must come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different upbringings. How do you make sure that the team can set aside their differences and coexist, where the learning is maximized as opposed to like differences clashing? Like, how do you make sure of that?
I think differences are important, constraints are important. We definitely bring those all together to work and look at problems from a different perspective. Every problem has different dimensions, and I encourage having different perspectives in work and solving for the right problems. Where it really shows up is how we define the problem well, and once we define the problem well, the solutions are pretty much available for us, and that's something that my people bring in. We have a pretty diverse team, and we encourage diversity. Especially it comes down to hiring practices where we hire for broader set of talent. And as a company is figuring out how we are moving across this work culture post COVID, we're also looking at some hybrid roles potentially in data team as well. That'll be really helpful.
Okay. And so are you guys currently global hiring or are you just hiring within the US? And what kind of roles are open within your company?
Within the US itself, and especially on the data team, I'm looking for senior data engineers, looking for data scientists and analysts that are more broad in terms of looking at product marketing and service and sales analytics. That's those are the kinds of roles we're looking at. We're also looking at a program manager or an internal data product manager who will be able to orchestrate all these use cases and execute on some of the high value data products for our company.
Okay, and as you're working currently remote, are you guys having a hybrid model, like, or do you guys go to work every day? What exactly is the situation like?
Right now, we are experimenting in terms of how this rolls out. So for now, we are sort of in a hybrid mode. 3 days in the office and 2 days off. What that will translate into next year, we'll see as a result of how we are experimenting and doing some sort
Okay.
of testing on our practices as well.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Gautam. It was an absolute pleasure having you as a guest, learning about your amazing company, specifically how and why it was started. And I like the fact that you decided to pursue something in telecare because your mom specifically is a doctor herself. But I wish you all the best for your future success, and I hope the company continues to do amazing. And if I do come across some wonderful candidates, I will definitely forward them to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.